All right, so today we're going to check out these knives, kind of compare them. I had somebody ask, a couple people ask, to compare the AD-10 Tanto with the SR1 Tanto. Let's get into this.
It's my pleasure. To present Jimislash.
Okay, so super easy. We're just going to check it out real quick. First thing we're going to look at is the blade. So what we're looking at here, you're looking at 4 inches of S35 VN as compared to what was like 3.7 inches of the S35 VN on the AD-10 Tanto there. Check that out. Now on this one, you got more of a flat grind. On this one, you got a hollow grind, which is going to help, of course, with the slicing a bit and that part of it. The Tanto area of the knife, I don't know, it kind of looks almost flat ground or hollow ground on the AD-10. What do you think? There's a little bit of difference there in the way it looks. All right, we'll go to the back, look at the thickness. The thickness on the SR1 is pretty obvious that it's thicker, but is it that much thicker that's going to make a difference? I don't know. I don't know if the blade's going to go before the scales go. And we already saw on the Cold Steel Ultimate Hunter that the scales by themselves are not going to go very easily into that dark night. So I don't know. I think that the scale, the thickness on that edge or the thickness across the back is not going to be a problem. And that extra, what, 1/4 of an inch? You think that's going to be an issue? I don't know. On the length there. I mean, it's always good to have an extra. Actually, right there, it looks more like a 1/3 of an inch or so. But is that really going to matter that much? I don't know. Now, the thing that does matter to me is the width of the blade. The width this way. And I'll show you why in a second. That I like the width on this AD-10 a little bit better than I do on here. And it has to do a lot with leverage and what you're cutting. Again, it's not going to matter. This is going to be like choosing between supermodels. Which one do you think is better looking? If she didn't have the mole on her cheek there. Where did she have that mole? Was her lip? Oh, Cindy Crawford. Why don't you return my calls? It's not me. I wasn't stalking you. That bunny wasn't my bunny. Anyways, let's keep going here. So let's get to the grip. I like the way this one feels as far as having more grip, more area for my grip down here. But it's not so much that this one is really a problem. This one's fine. I like a little bit of extra area, but the area on the AD-10 is sufficient. It's great. It's not uncomfortable or anything. Now, let's see here. This does have kind of a forward thing there, the choil area of this finger hold there, but it's right there on the cutting edge of that. Let me make sure I'm still on camera here. I think that's on camera. Yeah, that's on camera. Okay. And this one, same difference, same thing. You're going to have your finger on that choil area. It's going to be right there, ready to slice if you're not real careful. But you get a lot of leverage there too, just like on that one. As far as the feel of the scales, I like the feel of the AD-10 a little bit better. This one's really, really rough. I don't have delicate fingers or anything, but that's like the way it feels. Why go rough if you don't have to? And of course, this one has the liners, but again, I think we've demonstrated that. Oh, this one has some liners in it too. What's wrong with me? I didn't see that. Okay, so it has some liners down to here. Partially lined there for a little bit, I guess. Hold on, let me make sure. Let me get my glasses on here before I start spouting stuff that's going to get rejected in the comments. You can't see a darn thing. That is correct. I cannot see a darn thing. And I still can't. It looks like there's liners there. Yeah, so there's some liners there. Just must be like really partial because they don't even come down to here. I think it's just part of the lock system there. They're fake liners. They're trying to fake us out. Anyways, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. You're going to beat the heck out of this. There isn't a human alive that's going to be able to break these scales without just hammering the crap out of them with a hammer or a rock or something silly. So anybody's telling you that you got to have the liners to make this a sturdy knife is out of their mind. Go check out that Ultimate Hunter video. See what the liners hold up to. And they held up to abuse. And it wasn't even just like normal hard work. It was abuse and didn't do anything to them. So while the liners may give it extra strength, that it's at such a level of strength that you're never ever going to test it. You're never ever going to get to that point where you're like, oh, that's where it breaks. You're not you. If you have special equipment like a press or something, that may happen, but not the normal human being. I like the lanyard hole in both, so that's not a big issue. As far as work and putting in the work, I think what I'm going to show you is I like the width of this blade more, and it's got to do with leverage on when you're cutting. Let's see if I got something I can cut here and kind of show you what I'm talking about. Okay, let's move this. This is an empty box. That's the one this came in. This is not an empty box. It's because I need another one. Because I have a problem. All right, so now this is just a small, but look, this is where you start cutting, right? And so now all your cutting is behind kind of like where your grip is. You see what I'm saying? So you're cutting here. Boom. Now on this one, you're cutting kind of with your grip. You're cutting here. You can feel it. You can feel where your power needs to be to just kind of get into that. Well, it's super slicey, isn't it? But here, you can kind of feel that you got to put more torque down because that blade is just a little bit behind where the leverage would be. So, I mean, it's still going to go through, but you're going to have to put a little more torque on there. Maybe it's not going to go through. Let me find a place without tape here. It's not cutting. What the heck? The knife is sharp. Maybe I'm just weak. But see, it's just not, it's got the same leverage, and of course it's not that hollow grind, so. Oh, and it's a thicker knife, so going through that might be an issue. Let's see. It's like just convinced me that I need another one of these. A third. Look at that. Yeah, see. So that might be the hollow grind. What do you think? Is that the hollow grind speaking to me, or is that just leverage? It just feels like the leverage on this one is a little bit different. Like the leverage comes from a different spot. You're going to feel that, like you got to bring your hand forward more. So you got to flex that wrist more, which it makes sense. I mean, it's like when I'm doing my chopping competitions. I got to, since I'm short, I have to angle it forward. And that's why I have that thing different, that made differently. So you don't have to angle your wrist forward as much like this. You're going to get more strength from being able to cut here as opposed to here. It doesn't seem like it makes a lot of difference, but it will. Just try to cut from here as opposed to here. If you can cut from here, you got a lot more strength. This is even just a little bit is going to change the way your strength is. And I learned that in arm wrestling. I mean, if your hand is like this in arm wrestling, you're in a good position. If your hand is just barely back like this, you're going to get just chumped right there off the get-go. So if you have a little bit of even a straight wrist or a bent wrist, you're strong, way stronger. And that's what kind of this is. Kind of reminds me of that. So you're going to have to put your force forward just a little bit to equal that. And see what I'm saying? So I'm just going to show you, see if I can demonstrate this. So here's the blades and the thickness. You're going to have to bring it right about to here. And that's just a little bit. I mean, it's just what? 1/3 of an inch? Maybe a 1/4 of an inch. But you're still going to have to bring it forward just a little bit to get that same torque on there. So I love this knife. So this is not a diatribe against the SR1, so don't, you SR1 fans, don't get on me. This is unbreakable, just awesome knife. You wouldn't mind having it in the woods. You wouldn't mind needing it, emergency situation. But I like this one just a little bit better. So this is like a 9.5 for a beastly pocket knife, and this is like a 9.8. There's only one 10. Or there's a couple 10s, but there's only one cold steel 10. You know what it is. You know what it is. Whoa, whoa. All right, there we go. But these are awesome knives. I just choose the AD-10 Tanto over the SR1 Tanto for that reason. But it's not that big of a deal. It's not that huge of a difference. But if I had to choose one, gun pointed to my head, gun pointed to my mother-in-law's head. Okay, I'm not going to choose in that situation. That's not true. I'm just playing. But seriously, I would choose, I like the AD-10 Tanto that much, just a little bit better. Awesome, awesome knife. If you guys just go out there and look, I think they're going to start dropping here pretty quick. I know there's one company that's had it so far, and just keep an eye out on that website. Somebody will post it down there. I don't really want to get into posting other people's companies' logos and all that, or links. So I choose this as a 9.8 in a beastly knife scale, and this is right there at 9.5. If this blade was on this knife, I would choose this knife. That's why I'm choosing it, just for the blade, that torque you're gonna need, that extra, just like, I mean, just almost imperceptible, but that makes a huge difference. It's crazy, but it does. Okay, I was gonna show you guys a little bit of damage doing on these this week. Unfortunately, I messed up my elbow and my shoulder. Elbow on one arm, shoulder on the other arm. So it's going to be a couple days before I do the complete monstrous beat down on it. But it's coming. I'm going to beat these things. I don't think I can kill it, but maybe I can. I couldn't kill the Ultimate Hunter. I think these are even beastlier. Let me know what you think down there. Which one are you going to take? Which one do you like? Tell me why you like it. Just don't go AD-10, dum-dum. SR1, moron. Okay, so now I know somebody's going to put that down there. Don't put that down there. Be the change you believe in, or whatever it is. Believe in the change you want to be. Or just be a person that's nice. There you go, the AD-10 versus the SR1. You're not going to lose either way. If I had to choose one, I'd go with this one. And I guess that's it. Nope. I'll talk to you later.